here is the hottest show in town. You are tuned into Coffee with Jalal.
Okay, yeah, Ali Murad, and of course, welcome back to Coffee with Jalal with me, of course, Jalal Larak, and yes, and I'm in Calgary, and wherever you are, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. हम जैसे बात कर रहे थे पहले कि now we're gonna have our second segment of the show, and they are here right now. So let me get them on the screen. So first of all, as you know. We'll be talking to SRQ Productions. So there are 4 artists in that group. So let's chat with them and let's find out about the groups a little more now. So let me add up. First of all, Samram.
Hey, yeah, Jalal, how are you?
Shukr, how are you?
Good. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, good. I mean, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And, it's always a fun to have you guys. It's been a while since we talked to you guys. I think that last time you guys came, we were in the studio. So now yeah. So
a little bit different, but it's a new experience. So you've been doing awesome, keeping the shows going and stuff. It's been great to tune in.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, so it's still going on, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And of course, thanks to everyone. People wants to come on the show. They want a part of the show. So it's, make us going as well.
Yeah,
so it's really great. Yeah. So let me add the next member of the group. Everyone knows her. Tanzeel.
Yeah, Madad. How are you?
Did I catch you in the wrong time?
No, I was just fixing this tripod, but it's okay. We're good.
Tanzeel sometime always on the go, so that's what happened. Yeah.
Yes, how are you, Jalal? I'm good.
Shukr, how are you? Good to have you on the show again.
Good, it's good to be back. Hi, everybody who's listening. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
By the way, Sam, the last night show was amazing. Loved it.
Oh, thank you. That was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It was for a good cause, so you cannot go wrong.
Exactly.
I think this is the new normal for us right now. Right? I think you will see a lot of things that are happening virtually now. So I think, and it was an honor for us to be part of that show. Mm-hmm. So we had them as a guest as well. So yeah, it worked out okay for all of us.
That's great.
Great. Yeah, that's great. And Tataji, she does so much for everyone.
Yeah.
It was our kind of thank you for her to be part of the show as well. So no, I think it was great thing, and because I watched the show, on and off. So no, it was great, amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was really great to help out the cause. It's a great cause, and as soon as Let told us all about it, it was like, yeah, instantly we're like, well, for sure, volunteer our time, do this, try to raise awareness and get as many people out. Right. So yeah,
that's right. So the next guest, he is a guitarist, one of my favorite guitarists. I love his hair. I don't know if he got the haircut or no. So let's see what happens. Qasim,
hello. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. So what's happening these days?
Oh, keeping busy, which is not a bad thing given what's going on in the world. It's nice to still be able to do some stuff and help a little bit and get work on our art too. So that's great. Yeah.
Because I saw one of your last song, the one released on Smiley TV. So you were part of playing guitar in that song. So I think
that's right.
This is great. Yeah, this is great. Good to see you guys. On the TV now. So I'll take the credit as well. 1%. They've been on the Jalal show lots of time. Give them a chance now.
We'll have our accountants. We'll have our accountants speak with you about the 1%.
And the next guest, he's one of my favorite. He knows that. That's why he always have attitude with me. He's laughing. He's laughing backstage, but he's a really, really fun guy. I love to have him, on my show all the time. Rahim bhai, yeah, Ali Madad buddy, how are you?
Hello, Ali Madad, how are you? Good to see you after so long, my man.
I know where you're hiding, man. I told you.
I'm working too much, man. I need a vacation.
Rahim, you've had enough vacations the last 5 years that we've been following you. No thanks.
I have not gone anywhere since this whole COVID thing started. I've been.
Yeah, it was only 5 months ago.
That's a long time.
There's always Airdrie.
Yeah.
Why is that? Okay, I mean, why do you go to Airdrie?
No one's going to Airdrie. Too far.
Am I missing something here, Qasim?
Nah.
No, just being silly.
We'll have to vacation in Airdrie or Cochrane or one of those.
Yeah.
That's about all we can do right now.
Okay. So, you guys joined me in a studio, if you remember that. It was the last year sometime when Qasim and Rahim and, of course, Sam, you guys came. It was fun to talk to you guys live in the studio. And that time, Tanzeel was in East Africa at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, did you miss us, Tanzeel?
I was in the show because I did the promo.
You did.
You did the promo?
I remember the promo.
Okay, so, let me play the promo. How's this sound? Let's bring some memories back. That's the reason I asked this question. Okay, let's watch this.
Oh God.
Okay, let me play the whole
thing. Like I remember when I wore this.
काट लेंगे हम थोड़ी खुशियाँ थोड़े आंसू बांट लेंगे हम जिया जाए ना और पिया रे जिया जाए ना और पिया रे Hi everyone, my name is Tanzeel Baidani. Over the last couple years, I've had the honor and pleasure of performing with Sam, Rahim, and Qasim in our band Kashish. The song I just sang always reminds me of the three of you. You guys are not just some of the best musicians I've ever worked with, you guys are some of the best people I've ever met. Thank you so much for always having my back on and off stage, for making it such a blast to perform, and for making my musical journey so much more beautiful just by being a part of it. I know you guys have some future musical endeavors coming up, and I wish you the best of luck for it. I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait to perform with you guys again. See you. Bye.
Hey.
Wow.
Score myself.
Huh?
It was like a 7 out of 10.
So, it was the last SM. I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Now we are for, I think, almost a year now. So what did you, what's going on in your life, in your musical life now?
Well, it's funny because you obviously go into 2020 and you've got a bunch of weddings ready and a bunch of shows and getting excited for that. And then obviously when COVID hits, it all disappears. And so almost immediately everything got shut down. And so you're kind of sitting there like, oh, what's going to happen? But kind of like, and I'm sure everyone else will agree, our role as artists is kind of like to entertain. And so it just created this whole new online platform, and everyone's just looking at how do we really keep people going, keep people upbeat, energetic. And so instantly right off, I would say it was maybe a couple of weeks of downtime, and then all of a sudden you're just working on
that's right
10 different projects at a time.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, okay, yeah. So I'll come to you at the end, Tanzeel. What about Qasim? What happened in a year or so?
Well, I mean, when COVID hit, kind of the same thing. A lot of sort of upcoming shows, like there weren't a lot of them for me, at least in my calendar, but they all kind of got shut down. So, within the week of the lockdown beginning, I'm reaching out to everybody going like, let's get some videos going. Let's start doing something. Cause I was just going stir crazy. Like I still had work, which was great, but certainly there was a bit of an adjustment period because now I was working from home. So I had a lot of downtime, and so it's been really great being able to do some of the online videos, and, I'm still writing and recording on a regular basis. So
nice.
Looking forward to getting that stuff out sooner rather than later. Yeah.
So are you still doing your radio show, talk show?
Yeah. The nice thing about that for me was I've been doing it pre-recorded for years. So for me, it was really, I mean, with the whole lockdown, I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I guess as an introvert for me, I'm going, what lockdown? But but it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Rahim bhai, what's I know you are you've been busy with your business as well. I haven't seen you playing drums because that's why you are my favorite. If you don't play drums, I won't get you on my show next time. So what's the update with you these days?
You're muted.
Okay, if you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? We're good?
Yeah, go ahead.
The last few months have been a little bit busy just because of everything that's been happening with COVID. So in healthcare and pharmacy, it's been a little bit stressful, a little bit hectic. So I've been just trying to manage the pharmacies a little bit. So it's been interesting. But now that things are a little bit more settled down now, things are getting a little bit more back to what they were. So it's a little bit easier to get back onto the musical side of things. So we can we have a lot of plans and ambitions there. So it's nice that we're able to get back on that.
Yeah, that's right. And Tanzeel, when we did the show, you were in Dar es Salaam, then you came back here. There are so many changes in your professional life as well as musical life. क्या हुआ बताओ हमें, बहुत इंटरेस्ट है सुनने में.
Oh God. Well, so because of COVID, unfortunately, I had to cut my trip in Dar es Salaam short. So I had to come back. I was back in the last week of March. So that was kind of a bummer, but I'm not gonna lie, all the things that have come up for artists have definitely been like the highlight of my COVID experience. So yeah, I got to work on a lot of things, a lot of them with Sam, our song You're Not Alone, which was based on our COVID experience that we will talk about shortly, with Rahim and Qasim and Sam. Yeah. And then, well, I got into law school. I guess you guys all saw that on my Facebook.
Just saw the couple of days ago.
That's something, huh?
Just saw the couple of days ago.
Yeah, so that's something, that was something exciting that was in the works. And then honestly, I think all of us just got like the well-deserved break that we were just like waiting for. Like there was a lot of things that we had left on the side that we were like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this, never going to be able to do this. But now that we had so much time off, it was really nice because you got a chance to finish those tasks, to spend a lot of time with family. I think like one of my highlights was like just saying like prayers together as a family every evening. Because I think sometimes when you're like busy with work, especially in this world, like sometimes you just forget to like actually connect. Like you're there, but you know, you're busy doing other things. So I think it was just like a much needed break to just kind of set your mind straight, realize like what are things you want to focus on, and then get all of those things done that you were waiting on for so long. I absolutely loved this period. Obviously there's a lot going on around the world, so I don't mean that I love that, but just as an artist and just as a person, I think this was just a genuinely like uplifting time for me.
Yeah, there is a message from Lataji. Sam, you were amazing yesterday. Thank you from Lataji. Thank you so much, Lataji. Yeah. So, before we go to SRQ production, so, let me ask you this, because I know Tanzeel was watching my show, same as Sam was on and off. We did the Future Superstar. So what are your feedbacks, Sam? I'll start with you.
I love the platform. I think that's amazing. It's funny because whenever I look at music and just the progression and growing into it and stuff, when we were younger, we didn't really have a lot of platforms. And we didn't have a lot of opportunities to get into it a whole lot. It was very, very tight-knit, very small. And so you didn't have the opportunity for exposure. And so something like that is just amazing, just not for like confidence, for self-development. It gives all these young artists just the opportunity to grow and really get some confidence, because that's what art is, right? And I always compare it to sports. Like you look at, I grew up playing hockey my whole life, and there's a lot of Smiley hockey. And when we were younger, Calgary didn't have a lot of Smiley hockey training, whereas Edmonton did, and everybody in Edmonton played hockey. I'm sure, Rahim, you're a part of that whole group too. And then you get all these athletes that come out of Edmonton. And so you're kind of seeing that slowly progress here now, that like whether it's Canada or what, but now you're seeing artists just start to emerge, right? Because they're getting the opportunities, they're learning, they're growing, they're working with other people. And so it's amazing. I think it's a phenomenal thing. I love what you've done, Jalal. I think it's great.
What about you, Tanzeel? I know you were very active. I saw your comments like for the whole show, and it was a great support for our young artists. Seriously, you were doing an amazing job commenting and encouraging everyone. So how did you like it?
I loved it as well. I think I'd like to echo exactly what Sam said. First of all, thank you so much, Jalal Uncle, for doing things like this, and everyone else who was involved. I don't think you guys have any idea of what kind of an impact that's going to have on our future artists.
Totally.
I remember, I started singing when I was little because of a competition in Jamal Khana. And it was one competition that probably came up after years. It's not like those things were very common, but that one thing kind of really got me, excited to sing and just start my journey. So it's going to make, I can't wait to see all these kids in the future and what they can accomplish, and seeing them use all of this new technology.
I know.
I saw a lot of them were using recording equipment and professional studio mics and things like that. And I was so happy. The fact that they have that kind of exposure at this age, I can only imagine what's going to come out of it.
Yes.
For all of us, I can say for myself, the first time I ever walked into a studio was only a couple years ago. So the fact that they are able to do that at such a young age and work with it themselves, that's phenomenal. I can't wait to see what's going to come out of it in the future and how many actual future superstars are going to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, very well said. Yeah. Qasim, did you get a chance to watch a little bit here and there?
So I was actually working that weekend, so I didn't get a chance to tune in. So, but I, very similar to what everybody else said, I like having that platform is excellent. I mean, as a musician, it's great to be able to play at home. And I mean, that's been the good thing about COVID is that, we all have our singing voices and our instruments, so we can do that. But getting that exposure, playing in front of an audience and getting that feedback, I mean, it's, for me, that was really what sealed it. Playing at home was great, but the first time I played in front of an audience, for me, it was just such a rush that it was I wanted more of it, And so having opportunities like that for people to start at an earlier age, I think that's awesome. So I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, that's okay. Because then it was a long show as well. Because we just projected 2 hours, but it meant 3 hours. So, Rahim, did you get a chance to watch a little bit here and there?
Yeah, no, I was at the hospital, so I couldn't.
No. Rahim, what about you?
Well, one thing I'll say. So I remember we recorded that video for it was just some words of encouragement for the future superstars, and I think it's really important that we do what we can and do our part to help facilitate and cultivate a new generation of young artists, because I think right now, or even in the past, there hasn't been a means for people to really express their artistic sides. And I know there's such a big focus on science and medicine and law and engineering and all of that. But I think there's a lot of people who really have these hidden talents that they don't have a way of expressing themselves or really showcasing their talents, right? And through things like what you're doing, with future superstars, that really does give people an opportunity to really come out of their shells, right? And I hope that through the things that we're doing as well, I really hope that people are able to use that as encouragement and gives them confidence and instills confidence in these younger guys to really start doing some of the same thing.
Yeah. So just last thing on this one. So when the idea came in my mind and I asked, okay, we'll do it the way I do my radio show, I'll do it, But so when we posed the first time and the way we got the response, I was, oh God, I think I have to get better myself. Just to in a production side, quality has to be good as well, because the word was spreading and it was getting bigger and bigger. And then then we had a Reese as my co-host, and he said as well, this is the global stage for all the young artists. And what I like about that, I think about the format, every individual joined us live, and you can tell that confidence. They were talking, they know thousands of people are watching, and their confidence, and it was just amazing. I think I loved it. Same with Farhan Shah, our special guest, Nafisa, our special guest. Then Kamal sir joined us as well in between, and it was just amazing. Everything came like together. Thank you so much, everyone. Riz, Farhan Shah, Nafisa, and of course, Kamal sir as well, and everyone else, like in Salma Jadavji as well. Everyone else, you guys sent us a message as well, as well for our team. So I think it was just so much encouragement, because I was getting messages from parents. There's so many comments are coming or messages are coming from basically all around the world from our Somali artists. So that's so much kind of encouragement for all the young artists. I think, inshallah, hopefully we'll see at least one or two as our future super, inshallah, as our future superstar. And Nafisa is watching as well as, our Garba Queen. She said, yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's funny because through COVID, I've connected with Nafisa, and she's such an awesome person. And we've even talked about it too, that you're like, it's so important for all of us who have platforms and who are in the, who always have a platform to really encourage other people and really help build the confidence in other artists, right? It's important for that because that's where we started too, right?
Yes.
We had somebody give their confidence and instill it into us, and then now it's our duty to do that back. So
Yeah. There's a message from Ali Sundarji for Tanzeel, missing seeing you as a Zoom moderator for the Global Encounters. So what is the Global Encounters? Tanzeel, what were you doing for them?
So Global Encounters is a camp, an international camp for Ismaili youth across the world. This year, unfortunately, because of COVID, they couldn't actually go to a specific location. Usually it's held in Kenya or Pakistan or India.
Yeah.
So they had done it online. But the good part about it is because it was online, we were able to have 1,000 youth from across the world come join us. And we were facilitating them every day for 10 days for about 6 to 8 hours each day. So that's why I was kind of MIA in the middle. But Alison, I was actually assigned as a facilitator to one of the workshops with Faramita. She's been on your show a lot of times too. And I love the workshop because it was about performance arts. So I felt that I learned a lot as well. And Ali Sundarji was actually one of the facilitators for the workshops as well. But he was in the other cycle, so he would always come join our workshop on Zoom. But it was a wonderful workshop. It taught the youth a lot of confidence and strategies on how you can perform better. Whatever your art is, whether you're, a sketcher or like a artist or a performer, a rapper, anything. So it was a wonderful experience, and I would love to talk about it just by itself one day because there was so much that I learned from it. But I miss seeing you on there too, Ali. Thank you so much.
So, Samir, let me start with you. Now, of course, we have SRQ Productions.
Yeah.
So tell us about the SRQ now. What's your plan now? What are you doing and what's the plan?
Yeah, so it's something we've been working. Obviously, we've been working on an album for quite some time now, and obviously, with all three of us being professionals and working or in school, it's a lot of work to do on the side. So we've been spending a lot of time putting a lot of really good music together, and it's really interesting because we all have three very distinct styles, and so we were able to really merge that and put that together. And so just felt natural that it was kind of as me and Rahim always say, it was kind of the evolution to the next step. We started off doing a lot of covers and stuff, and then as we started working with Qasim more, his talent is unbelievable. The guy is one of the most talented people I know. It's incredible, just his ear, like the way he could come up with stuff, the magic he puts on all these songs. You're just like, it's unbelievable. Like there's times we and Rahim are like, we work on a song, we put something, and then we send it to Qasim, and then it comes back to us, and we're like, what did we just listen to? This is like Hollywood right here.
Wow.
So what you're saying is I interfere with your creative process.
You add to it. Yeah.
You actually foster it.
I'm kidding. You have so many cool things you want to do, and you actually make it happen. I'd be like, Qasim, I kind of hear like this weird sound in the background. Like, what do you think? And then he'll just like make it happen. You're like, what? How did you do that? So then it kind of just evolved to SRQ, Sam, Rahim, Qasim, and then obviously Tanzeel's a big part of all of our journeys. So we try to include her wherever we can. And but this album, it's been the three of us really building these tracks for the last year and a bit. So yeah.
Nice. So is she demanding because she's the only female you have?
Sometimes she has so much work.
I think what it is she keeps us in line.
Yeah. Tanzeel, the only challenge we always have is, can we catch Tanzeel on time?
Yes.
She's too busy.
Yeah. because I remember she's been on my show multiple times, numerous times. I remember when I started the Coffee with Jalal. Hey, you have my mug. Hey, there you go.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always. This is my studio mug now.
Yeah. So when I started the Coffee with Jalal, and then when I introduced the singing part to the show, and she was the first singer I had, and she's always down to earth, always nice always respectful, and never say no. If she's available, she never says no. So this is great. I think the true artist. That's what it is, huh?
She's blushing so much right now.
We try not to give her too. We don't try to hype her up too much.
Okay, so yeah. So Rahim, I know, you always want to sing, and I think you'll be doing it. So are you enjoying now? Are you trying to get kind of bigger as a singer?
Me? I mean,
yeah.
I enjoy the singing a lot. The best part about it is I don't have to set up and take down any instruments. My favorite part. I haven't really been doing a lot of it, to be honest. Until Sam kind of encouraged me to do more and more of it, and I was a little bit more on the shy side. I was comfortable sitting in the back, always with the band, just playing the drums, having a good time, not worrying about anything. It's kind of what I've been doing since I was a little baby, right? So, so more recently, when Sam started getting into the singing side of things, he kind of gave me that encouragement to do it with him, and so I've been enjoying it a lot. It's not an easy thing for sure. The number of hours that we spend in Sam's studio, trying to get everything right. It takes a lot of work, but I really do like it. And like Sam was saying, we all have different styles, so it's really nice to see how all of that stuff comes together, and you can really be creative, and I really appreciate that side of it as well.
Oh, I think he's on mute.
I think you're muted.
I'm muted?
No, Jalal.
Sorry.
There.
Yeah. So Qasim, because now we deal with three singers basically, Rahim and Tanzeel, and I can tell you have lots of patience. So then, how do you come up with your own stuff to give them a feedback in order to do this, do this? And I know you're busy, with your drawing. How do you manage everything?
Well, I mean, the nice thing is we live in, an age where there's, there's a lot of, technology that can help with that. So, I mean, it's not always, it is better if we're all together in the same room, but I know it's not always easy. And I mean, it's not just singers, like myself as a musician and as a professional. It's like, sometimes I just can't make the time, or, sometimes there is the time, but it's like I don't have the mental energy. And so, it's nice having the technology that it's like, somebody can do something, like put something down, and then, it doesn't have to be time. Like, it's not like in the old days where you had to go to a studio, and if somebody doesn't show up, like, it's wasted time or anything. So it's really nice that way. And, I think, we're all understanding of each other in terms of like, we all kind of have a common purpose that, we want to make this sound as good as possible, and I think you can't really rush that,
Yes. Like, Tanzeel, since the pandemic started, so I've seen you guys, you perform in Dubai, and you perform in a US group as well. So now the world is very small now. I think, everyone knows everyone. And because of the virtual thing, we can do so many things, doesn't matter wherever you are. So, as an artist, I think you must be loving it. Now you can contact, or you can do your shows other side of the world now.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Actually, Sam and I always talk about it, how, just 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago when we did the Dubai show, who would have thought that the people in Dubai would be watching us?
Yeah.
It just seems so impossible, maybe only a couple months ago, but everything is so possible now. And the fact that you're getting to connect with so many artists, like Nafisa's here watching. I used to listen to a CD called Jalwa when I was a kid from Golden Jubilee in Pakistan. And only yesterday I saw that Nafisa is singing on it. Her name's on there. I was like, I've been listening to Nafisa my whole life, but I had no idea that was Nafisa. So I just think it's been so nice to connect with artists from everywhere. I mean, you name it, like people will add you, people will message you, people want to collaborate. It's just become such a like nice global society. I love it. Like the arts in general, it's become really nice.
Really nice. Yeah. So Sam, of course, you do the production side as well. So, last week I had a Karim Baroya from Karachi. And
of course.
You did a song with him, and it was a great, like an interview. If you missed it, go watch it. It was wonderful. I really loved it. It was so nice to talk and, give out information. It was amazing. So you like the production side as well, or you like the singing part? What do you like? What do you prefer the most?
It's funny because whenever you're trying to learn something, because I do everything, I'm self-taught, and when you start to learn something, you hate it. So when I was first trying to learn the piano, I hated it, and I was like, this is so annoying because you just can't get it. And then eventually, once you get the feel of it and you get into the rhythm, then you start to like it. And so when I first started production, I would even tell Rahim all the time, because we would be doing a lot of stuff together, like, oh, I'm so sick of it. This is so much work. This is so hard. You got to spend hours just watching videos and reading articles on how to do stuff. And then now I'm at a point where I'm very comfortable with it. Now it's actually like quite addicting. Like you get really excited to like learn something new and do this and that. So I'm at that stage where I actually really like production. I enjoy singing more. I think my favorite will always be performing at live shows. Live in-person shows. Those will always be the top. But production's it's really fun because you could get really unique, and as we started to get into more original music and stuff, you could really dabble into your creativity. So that's been really good.
Nice. So Qasim, yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say, like, Sam is so good at production. Like, he doesn't realize it, I don't think. But the fact that he's self-taught, he does such a good job. Like, everything that we've done, most of the background work is usually done by Sam, and he's absolutely amazing at it. So you go, Sam.
Thank you.
So Qasim, as a guitarist, as a musician, so now so many things are happening as well, So are you taking any part in any other, the incoming shows or incoming virtual shows, anything coming up for you?
Nothing for me, no. I mean, I definitely would like to do more of that. So, I mean, I'm always open to it. But right now, nothing like that. So really, most of my work is kind of just, continuing to play. For me, a lot of it is like learning. I enjoy so much. So learning different songs to play, different styles and kind of working on that side of it. So that's kind of what I've been keeping busy with.
Yeah. And Rahim, like you and Sam, I think you guys been together for longer than other people in the group. So what did you learn about Sam now, after so many years? Because now he's doing production as well, he's playing, he's a singer as well.
Well, I've known Sam for a long time. I remember, when he started getting into music, I was his camp counselor when he was in first year of university.
Yeah,
it was a musical themed camp, and I think after that he just started building on, and he realized that he had a lot of different talents on the music side of things, and so it was really amazing to see him build those skill sets, and going from, he can even play the drums, and so like seeing him build those skills from piano to drums to singing to production, he's just, he's really harnessing those talents and energies and building on those skills and becoming better and better every single day. So, I've learned that, I think perseverance and consistency is really key. And so I think it's kind of encouraged me to help. It's encouraged me to continue keeping one foot in that side of things, so that I continue to build my skill sets as well. And I've learned a little bit on the, on the programs and the production stuff that he's been building his skills with. I watch him do those things, and I'm starting to learn a little bit as well. I'm learning a little bit of the terminology, so he's teaching me these things as well. So I'm really enjoying that. And but more than anything, it's just really quite amazing to see that, from where he started, where he is now. It's quite inspiring to me as well. So it's great.
Nice. So Tanzeel, you did these three boys. So who's late in practice all the time?
Tanzeel will never know that answer.
Wait, sorry, Jalal, can you say that again?
I said you deal with these three boys. So who's late in the practice?
He said, "Who's usually late to the practice?"
There's like a weird sound coming. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
a crackling noise.
Oh.
Okay,
I don't know the answer because I'm always late.
Yeah, exactly. It's always Tanzeel who's last.
So Sam, for
Fashionably late.
Okay, for the SRQ production, so what's the plan? Are you gonna bring in new artists, or what's the what are you thinking?
I think for this one was really our first opportunity to get into some real, well, at least for me and Rahim, get into more original music. And so that's really our first start of trying to establish that original feel and really create music that speaks to us and what we like, and hopefully it connects with other people, like-minded people. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. But it really is just our first start to really get into it. So that's kind of been the thought process. It kind of went from, it was really funny because as we kind of started working on a song. And then while we're working the next day or the third day on that song, all of a sudden we think of some new idea. So then it rolls into a whole new song and a new song. And that kept happening. And there's one day even I remember we're like working on a song and we wrote a whole new song that day. And we're just like, what is going on here? So it kind of just turned into this, okay, well, now all of a sudden we've got about 10 songs that we've just been working on at the same time. Let's turn it into an album. And so it kind of just naturally turned into that. So, yeah. So it's been just us three on everything so far, but that's kind of it gave us a lot of experience to right away to go into You're Not Alone, and then we're like, well, we want Tanzeel on this one. I think this is an awesome one to do it, and as we kind of grow more, we'll see how things progress more after things get out there and get released.
Yeah. So if you can maybe share some experience with your song You Are Not Alone. Everything started.
Yeah, who wants to take that away? Tanzeel?
Tanzeel, yeah.
Or maybe it actually started with us, with me and Qasim kind of started up. We kind of were talking about as SRQ. We're there's obviously, it was all about people are not feeling good right now. Everyone's really uncertain. They're really scared. Let's just try to put something together. And the one good thing is that we found that during quarantine, I've been doing a lot of stuff at my place. Qasim's got a really awesome setup at his place. So he would just email me all of his stuff and we could compile it all together, and kind of started off with me and Rahim were okay, maybe we'll record something through the phones and that'll be the vocals. And let's just put something out there for the people to give them a little bit of support. And as we kind of just started thinking about it, we're how do you just tell somebody that they're not feeling alone, that there's somebody out there? And then that's where Qasim kind of just came up with the hook, and it got to you. And then Qasim, maybe I'll turn it to you then.
Yeah. I mean, right. Like I was saying earlier, as soon as the lockdown began, for me, I live to play music and especially playing live. So, when everything was kind of progressively getting canceled, I'm going, okay, we're looking at a long time here with not really being able to bring music to people. And luckily a lot of musicians on social media have been able to do it. So I'm going, okay, this might be a nice way for us to, keep doing it. And the whole idea of You Are Not Alone, I mean, we liked that sentiment because it really was an unprecedented. It is an unprecedented time that a lot of people are grappling with, for the first time ever in their life, and it can be very stressful in terms of you're wondering how do you get groceries, or you want to see your loved ones but you don't want to accidentally get them sick, or things like that. And it kind of reminded me, there's a lot of old gospel tunes You'll Never Walk Alone, or the song Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel actually itself comes from a gospel tune, which is, I'll be your bridge over troubled water if you believe in my name. And so the idea of you're not alone, I mean, it can be sort of you're not alone because you've got friends, family, there's other people in the same boat. But then we also saw the spiritual side in it. And that's where it kind of came from. And then, it was actually lucky for me. I happened to be at work and I had cancellation in my schedule. So suddenly I had 45 minutes with nothing to do. So kind of picked up the guitar and just kind of started playing. I was playing around with a few tunes, kind of what are some songs that kind of make me feel emotional. And one of the ones that came up for me was Honesty by Billy Joel. And, you know, I was kind of playing it. And sometimes when I'm playing somebody else's song, I start playing it wrong. Either by accident or on purpose. And then it kind of morphed into, and I started kind of singing You're Not Alone on top of it. And I think it's different enough that Billy Joel won't come and sue us. But, you know, and then we sent it, and then, you know, Sam, Tanzeel, and Rahim kind of took it from there.
Nice. So, you know, why don't you play tune if you can, please? Might as well have something.
Oh, to play, yeah. So, like on You're Not Alone, it was kind of like, you know, it came up with the chords. It was. So there was that, and then kind of at the beginning of the song, again, it was a very long 45 minutes cancellation, you know, and I was playing around like kind of what would be a nice sort of opening motif or melody, and so I started playing a little something like And so when I was playing that, I was thinking of like George Harrison and a lot of the sort of spiritual music that he did in the 70s. So, I mean, a lot of this really wasn't conscious. A lot of it was very unconscious. And it was later on when I was listening to it going like, okay, I can kind of hear the roots of it. But I mean, you know, at the risk of using the cliche, like I think it was divine inspiration. So,
yeah, totally. And then like, and I guess you could turn to Tanzeel probably, because then Tanzeel's a big part of getting the whole song written up together and stuff. So.
Yep. Yes, Tanzeel.
Yeah, so I had just come back from Dar es Salaam and I was actually in isolation for 14 days. So kind of like what Qasim said, I had a lot of free time to just like think about things. I was looking around. Sam had called me. He was like, we're thinking of doing a song and like we kind of want to use the inspiration of what's happening around the world. And so, you know, we were thinking like people are feeling lonely, people are confused, people are losing their loved ones or they're losing, you know, their jobs. And it was just such a, like, we just wanted people to know that really you're not alone. And at the end of the day, like we saw that a lot of people were getting their inspiration, myself included, they were getting their inspiration and hope from God or from prayer or from just like spirituality in general. So I started writing the Hindi lyrics, and a lot of it was coming from conversation. I was having conversations with my parents. I had some conversations with one of my friends, Simone, as well. And we just wanted people to kind of feel like at ease that, you know, like he's always there for you. Whoever your God is or whoever you believe in, whoever the divine is, he will be there for you. And so when I started writing the Hindi lyrics, a lot of my inspiration was I wanted to find analogies from what's happening around in the nature. So like, you know, there's some words like they're comparing the love that a moth has for light. And that analogy has been used in a lot of Bollywood songs, in a lot of ghazals. So I'm definitely not saying I was the first person to use it. But I was trying to use those like natural analogies for people because I knew that they would be able to relate to each one of them in their own way. And so once the Hindi songs were written, that's when Sam started like writing the English words, and it worked perfectly because a lot of the English words were conveying something that would just tie in so well with what the Hindi lyrics were trying to explain. So maybe Sam, you want to talk about your process of writing the English words?
Yeah, it was kind of like as we were kind of working through the song and building through it, and like when me and Qasim went through everything, it was always just that you're not alone. Like that was the message we really wanted to share. And as you're kind of going through it, I don't know, it kind of just came quite naturally. You're just kind of like trying to find message of hope and really just kind of listening to everything and going through like just how to find hope in the darkness. That was always what it is, because there's such a big cloud and you're like, how do you give somebody the inspiration to really just find hope into it, right? And so that's really what it was, and it just kind of came naturally then. It just kind of turned into just spitting out everything that came out.
So Rahim, once the song was released and mashallah, it got really good feedback and it was featured on Smiley TV as well. So how do you feel after mashallah, successful project?
Well, I think we're very humbled by all of the attention that we've been getting. We're very grateful for that, obviously. I don't think we were expecting that level of attention, and it actually was picked up on Spotify and Apple Music and all that as well, thanks to, in large part, to Sam. We're very, very humbled by everything and all the attention that we've been getting. I think at the end of the day, that all we wanted to do was create a sense of calm for people, a sense of peace for people, and I hope we were able to affect people in that way, and I hope that people were able. I hope the message was resonating with many people. And I think, to what Tanzeel was speaking about earlier, a lot of people did feel like isolated, and they have been losing their work and loved ones, and they haven't been able to connect, to see people physically in person because of all that's been going on with COVID. So I think because of that, we just wanted people to know that, we're all in the same boat. We can all still connect through spirituality with one another, and when you feel like you're down, always remember that there's God that's looking out for us, and we can always reach out to Him, the divine spirit, and hope that things will work out. So that was the main thing. But again, we weren't really expecting all of that attention. We just wanted to get a message out and create an uplifting spirit for people, and I hope that's what we were able to achieve.
Yeah, no, nice. I think it's a beautiful song, beautiful lyrics as well. I think the day it was released will be played on our show as well that day. Tanzeel and Sam are watching that day. So of course, we'll be playing again and again on our show. This is our new virtual studio. So guys, how do you like it?
Love it.
Yeah, good to have you guys again. Would you like to come back on the show?
Yeah,
of course. I always love to. We'd love to come live one time. That's what we missed, coming live, because those are always fun. So hopefully when the studio's back open and we can all meet in person again.
Yeah. So talking speaking of our studios, we are not there. We are not there anymore. It's been moved to Glenmore and Stony. So when you come, inshallah, soon, so we'll be in a nicely new studio.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a bigger place. Yeah, so let's hope soon, once everything is done. So before we let you go, guys, we'll start with the last messages. I'll start with you. No, Sam, I'll come to you at the end. I'll start with you, Qasim.
Sorry, what was that? It kind of was cutting in and out.
Last message, what do you want to say to just a general message?
Just hang in there, keep the faith. You're not alone, and I think we'll make it through this unprecedented time together.
Yeah, inshallah. Right?
Similar messaging to what Qasim was saying. I think we're all in this together, and we will get through it. We just gotta do our part, and when you're feeling down or alone or isolated, just remember that there's different ways to connect, and and prayer is a great way to do that.
Yeah. And when are you going to next? I want to know.
Sorry?
I said, when are you going to like Edmonton next? I know you're from Edmonton.
Man, I gotta respect the COVID rules right now. But my whole family's out there. My parents are there, all my cousins and relatives. I have a lot of them out there, so I'd love to go visit soon. I know Edmonton is a little bit of a hot spot right now for COVID,
Yes.
So we've been watching the news very, very closely. So hopefully everyone out there is safe and maintaining the guidelines. But inshallah, soon I'll be able to go visit, hopefully in the next couple of months.
Inshallah. Tanzeel.
Yes, I would like to say, first of all, I would like to say thank you so much for having us, Jalal Uncle. Thank you so much for the audience for listening to us today and joining us on our journey. And kind of just echoing the same thing that Rahim and Qasim mentioned, you're not alone. We're all in this together. And if you haven't already, please do what you love in this time that you have, I guess, off, or I guess when things are not, things are a little low key, and just work on things you love, because it'll just make you feel so good, and it'll make you feel like you have a purpose.
Yeah,
so.
Nice. Sam.
Yeah, similar to everybody else. Thank you so much for having us. Your platform's it's always an honor to be on your platform. I love coming on here, and always can do what we can to support you, and you always support us since the beginning, since me and Rahim released our very first video. So it's always been there for us. So we're so happy to be here. And yeah, just echoing what everyone else said, it's that having that connection and that human connection with one another is to always keep that going, right? It's you're not alone kind of stem from all that, but throughout all of COVID, you're seeing human connection and human interaction, and that's really special. Whether you can't do it face to face, but there's a million other ways. So keep that up, keep working together, keep encouraging people. Let's all do what we can to make this world a better place.
Nice. So when is the next song coming up? Any update? Any hint you can give us? Any news?
I don't know. I'm hoping, and we're still working all the details, but I want to shoot a video here next week, so that's the goal, but we'll see.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much, Sam, Qasim, Rahim, and Tanzeel. It's always a fun to have you guys. It was nice to talk to you again virtually though, but I think it was nice to get some info about the project, and of course the SRQ productions. I think it was nice. And of course, we had a last group from East Africa, Tanzeel, you know them. And yeah, they had only good things about you as well. I think it's great. It's good to see Calgary people are going and making us proud here. I think it's good to see that. So you guys, all the best to you. Looking forward for your next video, inshallah. And our next video superstar is coming up as well very soon. News inshallah coming very soon. Some kind of the promo, and of course, so we'll be work together, and hopefully we can do something together as well. So
of course, whatever you need.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Yeah, inshallah, we'll see you next time very soon. And stay safe, stay healthy, and do whatever you can do.